Welcome to the Green Hat Local SEO Podcast, where Kyle Sabra delivers hard-hitting, actionable tips and strategies to help business owners dominate their local market and crush the competition. Kyle's no-holds-barred approach cuts through the noise of traditional SEO, focusing on battle-tested tactics that deliver real results. He's here to arm you with the tools you need to skyrocket your rankings, generate more leads, and grow your business online. If you're tired of hearing the same old SEO nonsense and want to learn the truth, this is the podcast for you. Get ready to put on your green hats and learn SEO secrets the other guys can't handle. Now, here's your host, Kyle Sabra.
Hi, this is Kyle from Green Hat Local SEO, and in this episode, I'm going to go over something that I recently made a podcast about, and that is Google's MUVERA algorithm that they announced just a few weeks ago. So this was big news in the SEO world for all of us SEOs because it kind of jived with what we were seeing and confirmed some of our testing and stuff in that Google has turned down the ranking for some of these more like auxiliary terms, what we call shoulder terms, for pages. And basically what that means is pages that were ranking for some semi-related topics to the main keyword of the page all of a sudden lost those rankings, and the websites lost traffic. And this kind of confirmed again what we've been talking about for a while, to where Google is going more towards topicality and site radius. And this MUVERA algorithm, when they announced it at least, confirmed what we were seeing. Well, now they're saying that they didn't specifically say they were using MUVERA, just that they announced it, which is something that Google does a lot. So Google will oftentimes release research papers and talk about things that they're doing, but not always. They don't always actually use this in their search algorithm, right? And this is an example of it, to where Google says, "Yeah, hey guys, we released this paper, but it doesn't actually mean that we're doing anything with it." Which again is something that we've seen a lot in the past, where Google will just like release some research they're doing on information retrieval theory or something like that, but not actually roll those into the actual algorithm. And this is one time when they said specifically they did not ever say that they were using MUVERA. However, Google is not truthful with us pretty much ever. We know this for a fact because if Black Hat SEO didn't work, or if they're truthful, then Black Hat SEO wouldn't work, and Black Hat SEO does, right? The same thing with John Mueller. John Mueller is not our friend. John Mueller does not tell us the truth. Why would they? Why would they tell us exactly what they're doing, exactly how their algorithm works, and exactly what we need to be working on? Those are their trade secrets. Google is not our friend. Google wants us to fail. You need to understand this. You need to recognize this. Google is hoping that our SEO tactics don't work. That way we have to pay for ads. And this is another example of it, to where they will release a paper which confirms everything that us SEOs have already tested and seen to be true, and says, whoa, hold on guys, just because we release this research paper doesn't mean that we actually are using this as part of our algorithm, despite the fact that they very obviously, if not using MUVERA, then using some sort of MUVERA variant of it in their algorithm. So what brings me to the point in that Google lies. John Mueller lies. If not outright lies, then lies by omission. They are not our friend. They are not telling us the truth because it is in their best interest to get us to fail. So this is one thing that white hats really don't understand. White hats don't understand that Google is not our friend. Google does not want us to succeed. Everything that Google says, you need to take with a grain of salt. Everything that John Mueller says, you need to take with a grain of salt, because they are not being 100% truthful and clear with us all of the time. And again, this is why Black Hat SEO works so well, because the SEOs have not caught on to this yet. So with Black Hat SEO, yes, if you do it wrong, you can burn your website, and then you're basically fucked. But a lot of the things that are quote unquote Black Hat SEO turn out to be actually really helpful, and turn out to be really just like a part of the algorithm. For example, one thing that we've been doing for a long time that I've been told is black hat SEO and I should be ashamed of it and stuff like that is CTR. We use Agency Assassin. I've used Agency Assassin, which is honestly the best in the market right now if you're doing local SEO. But even other ones like Kraken Viper, CTR Rocket, CTR Booster, which is another really good one. All of these CTR programs work, and just to varying degrees. Despite the fact that Google says CTR, or Google said in the past CTR doesn't work, it's black hat, yada yada yada, until the leaks happened, and a lot of this was confirmed, right? CTR was confirmed as a ranking factor way after all of us actual SEOs who actually know what we're doing were using it to rank our clients. So, whatever Google puts out, yes, take it with a grain of salt. Just because they publish a research paper doesn't necessarily mean that they're using it as part of their algorithm. But this is where having an SEO that actually does testing and actually knows what's going on is in your life is so important. Because when this when this paper was published, at first I rolled my eyes. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But then I started reading into it. And I thought, yes, this is exactly everything that we have been seeing. This isn't like these other bullshit papers that Google published just to, publish research. This actually is part of their algorithm, despite what they say. Now, one thing that you have to notice is that, Gary Iliash said, no, I didn't confirm where we're using it. All I said is that we might have something like it, which is kind of shady and doesn't really tell us much. They're not using it, but they have something like it. Well, this is one way that Google kind of muddies the waters, and Google kind of keeps us on our toes by saying, oh, yes, we published this paper. We might be using it, guys. We might not be using it, things like that. So you really have to be able to know what the search landscape is looking like, what the previous updates have been, and where Google might be going to see if these new research papers are actually going to be used as part of the algorithm. I can tell you for a fact that, okay, cool, they might not be using this exact algorithm that was mentioned in the research paper, but they are definitely using something like it, right? So don't let any of this confuse you. Google is definitely reprocessing sites, rescoring sites, and re-ranking sites for some of these less relevant keywords. So if you see your rankings drop, go in your search console, see what keywords dropped. If these keywords are on a page about a different topic, then if you still want to rank for those keywords, then you need to create a new page to rank for those topics. And one thing that's going to help you with this too is the more information you have out there. Yeah, it used to be, up until between I would say 2021 and 2023, or 2024 maybe. Creating mass page sites, just targeting every single keyword out there did not work. It got you flagged as spam, and it got your site just fucking, obliterated off of the SERPs. But now the reverse is happening. Now you need to create a page for every single keyword that you want to rank for, right? Not just that, you need to create a page for it, then create a YouTube video for it, then create some sort of a podcast for it. And this is the really how search is looking now. So if you lost these keywords, yes, Google said they're not specifically using the MUVERA algorithm, they mentioned that paper, but they are using something like it. The only way to recover those keywords is to create a new page. Don't let Google fool you into thinking, oh, there's nothing you can do, you just need to write better content or whatever because they're not actually using MUVERA. Because they are not using that MUVERA, but they are using something exactly like it, right? So even though they might not be using that exact research paper, they're using the same principles on their algorithm now, right? So all of these semi-related keywords that you lost ranking for, you now need to make a page for it if you want to keep ranking for those keywords. The more pages you create, the more it's going to get picked up in AI overviews, the more it's going to get picked up in the LLMs like Perplexity, ChatGPT, Anthropic, things like that. So really creating more pages is just going to help you. We internally here at Green Hat, we have our own AI agents just pumping out content almost 24 hours a day for all of this. So we're staying ahead of all this, and we already kind of saw this coming. But if you don't have that, obviously you don't have the same AI agents that we do and the same workflows that we do. Just go into Search Console, see what pages or what keywords you're last ranking for, pop those keywords into something like Page Optimizer Pro, and then just have Page Optimizer Pro's internal content creator write that for you, or you can use ChatGPT as long as you keep all the keywords and stuff in there, or you can use something like SEO Copilot to write the content for you. In fact, SEO Copilot might be a lot better because you can just like load that up and let it rip. But yeah, so I mean, the fact of the matter is that Google does not want to give us accurate information. Google lies to us. Google, if not outright lies, then lies by omission. So you really need to dig deep down into what Google is saying, read between the lines, and consult an SEO professional when trying to figure out where the algorithm is going and what these research papers mean for you and your business and your rankings. So that's about it for this podcast. Again, my name is Kyle Sabra from Green Hat Local SEO. If you don't want to keep on top of all the SEO news and you don't want to deal with all the bullshit from Google, let us do that for you. Contact us at ghls.io. We have a free until you rank program where you don't pay until you see rankings. So again, if you want to be part of that, contact us, ghls.io. My name is Kyle Sabra, and I will talk to you later.